Having served as Chancellor throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, his resignation came as one of the most damaging to Boris Johnson in July. After the resignation of Liz Truss, the 42-year-old quickly reached the threshold of 100 nominations from the parliamentary party for his name to appear on the online ballot for the party membership. And on Sunday, he confirmed his readiness to serve.
That's right, Britain's former Treasury chief, who is absolutely not an attractive man, and I'm not gonna perv out regarding his looks at all, is Rishi Sunak. He has been named the Prime Minister of Britain following the resignation of Liz Truss, also from the Conservative Party. And of course, she served the shortest Prime Minister term in Great Britain's history, only 6 weeks. Now, while some headlines seem to be hyper-focused on the fact that he will be the first person of color to lead Britain, fact of the matter is he actually represents more of the trickle down economics that really has harmed the economy in the UK, and I'll get to those details in just a moment. But it's important to also emphasize that he came to power not through a public vote, not through a general election, but by his own party essentially deciding that he would be the one to fill the role that Liz Truss stepped down from. Now, after losing out to Truss in the summer, Sunak is on his way to Downing Street after his leadership race rival, Penny Mordaunt, withdrew from the contest at the last minute. Now, the whole thing, again, is super undemocratic. While Truss became Britain's leader after being voted in by Conservative Party members, less than 1% of the electorate, nobody has voted for Sunak to become prime minister. So we previously talked a little bit about how this whole system works. The party with the prime minister who steps down, in this case, it was originally Boris Johnson, then later Liz Truss, that same party gets to decide who then fills the role after the resignation. Now, he claims he wants to focus on stability, meaning economic stability, something that the UK is certainly struggling with right now. But he also says that he wants to unify his party because there are many divisions within it. There are also many challenges that he will have to deal with. Britain's rampant inflation and rocketing energy and food prices have thrown the economy into chaos, a menace made worse by Truss's disastrous handling of public finances, which has left the nation's fiscal reputation in urgent need of repair. Sunak will also likely be forced to to preside over unpopular spending cuts at a time when workers in key sectors, including transport and health, are already striking over pay. And his family has a little bit of scandal, which we'll talk about in just a moment. But I also want to note, when he was the head of the Treasury in the UK, he did implement some programs that were positive. So for instance, they refer to it as the furlough scheme, meaning since they were shutting down companies, they wanted to encourage those companies to furlough rather than just fire those employees. And in the meantime, the government would give grant money to the employees who were forced to stay home due to shutdowns, covering 80% of their wages. And I think that was not only a popular program, I think it was a smart program. It helped to lower the unemployment rate, which could have been disastrous considering the fact that so many businesses were shutting down in the middle of the pandemic. But it's mixed. It looks like he and his wife have tried to dodge taxes considerably. I'll get to that in a moment. Before I do, Cenk, why don't you jump in?
Yeah, first of all, yeah, sure. Let's note he's pretty, and that's going to actually come into effect in policy in a second, and I'll connect the two. But first, to clarify why he didn't get a single vote, even within the Tories, they didn't vote because everyone else dropped out. His main competitors dropped out, so he very literally did not get a single vote and became Prime Minister of UK, which is kind of amazing. So now, on to more important matters, what's he gonna do, right? So on the upside, he was against some of Truss's policies, even though they're in the same party. Okay, that's good, okay. On the downside, he has very similar disastrous policies because they're all right wing, they're all conservative, they're all rich, and they all want tax cuts for the rich, which leads us to why he's pretty and why one of the reasons he was in trouble. His wife is enormously wealthy. One of the wealthiest families originally in India. Okay, then obviously they moved to UK. Also educated in America. He also worked at Goldman Sachs. So I'm sure he's taxes for the rich. That's sure a giant problem for him. No, he loves it, of course. Except he did tax increases for everyone in the UK when he was the finance minister, but conveniently left a loophole in there that his wife and him could exploit to protect their $835 million fortune.
How convenient, how convenient. So I actually want to talk about that more because to me, that shows what his character is and more importantly, what his priorities are. So good looks aside, his character obviously matters, especially at a time when people in the UK are struggling to pay energy bills, struggling to put food on the table for their children and their families. And so I want to go to the next clip that kind of touches on the scandal involving the tax dodging that was taking place within his household. Let's watch.
This spring, his reputation suffered a blow when it emerged his multimillionaire wife avoided tax in Britain through non-domiciled status, and that he himself held a US green card for 19 months after becoming chancellor. After gaining only 43% of the vote against Liz Truss in this summer's runoff, the former chancellor has been in political retreat, a no-show at the Conservative Party conference. But since the winner called time on her premiership after only 44 days in office, the loser has emerged the main contender to replace her.
Now he is replacing her, and I wanted to kind of elaborate a little more on his personal wealth along with what those tax dodging schemes were. So between them, he and his wife are believed to have built a combined fortune worth about $820 million, around double the wealth of King Charles III and Camilla, who's the Queen consort, whatever that means. Now, the Sunday Times named them the 222nd richest people in the UK, and the first time around 17 million, including a Santa Monica penthouse. So the couple own a ton of property as well, including some property here in the United States. They privately own 4 homes worth around $17 million, including a Santa Monica penthouse valued at around $7.2 million. And Sunak's wife, in regard to the tax dodging that took place, exploited a special legal status to avoid paying British taxes on the millions she earns in dividends. Okay, so that's just money that she has invested, and that money makes money for her without actually doing anything. So she earns dividends from the IT business founded by her father, in which she held an estimated $835 million stake. The opposition labor leader accused Sunak of breathtaking hypocrisy for raising taxes on others, as his own family apparently reduced their own liabilities. And Sunak himself held a US green card while serving as Britain's finance minister. And that essentially meant that he has declared himself a permanent American resident for tax reasons, while also overseeing tax hikes for everyone else. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, and so that's why I was saying jokingly that him being pretty is relevant, because they say their wealth combined is between 820 and 850. Then they explain that at least 800 million of that is from her. So yeah, maybe he chipped in, maybe he didn't.
Damn.
Right? But
well, to be fair to him, he earned millions working at Goldman Sachs, and he earned those millions through hedge funds. So he was wealthy himself, but certainly not to the same extent as his wife.
Yeah, and so when you're trying to hook up with someone whose family has nearly $1 billion, you better be pretty, and way more importantly, you better give them a tax loophole. Higher taxes for everybody else, tax loopholes for the rich. And so, hey, mission accomplished. Good son-in-law gives you that giant gift, probably worth tens of millions of dollars, to the great detriment of everyone else. Now, look, I don't know if he was supposed to trust his policies because on some principled, reason, or if he's just doing it because Truss was one of his main competitors within the Tories, right? But right wingers are gonna right wing, and so he's not in favor of, like, you know what, let's end austerity and let's make sure we do the right thing for the British people. No, he's gonna double down on austerity, and he's gonna do more spending cuts, and he's gonna take it from the hide of the British people. That's what right wingers always do in every circumstance, and they're all hypocrites. So he was also involved in the Partygate scandal, that had created issues for Boris Johnson as well. All right, and then finally, guys, look, there's some chance that they quote unquote let him have it, including Boris Johnson, who probably could have won the vote if he pressed forward, but it's not clear. So why did they quote unquote let him have it if they did? Because it's a hot potato. Right now, the economy is a hot mess. They can't fix it, and certainly no right-wing position is going to fix it. And they're like, well, I don't know, tax cuts for the rich. But Truss just tried that, so they're out of ideas. That's their only idea. So my guess is they thought this guy's an outsider. He's super ambitious. Give him the hot potato, have him bungle it, and then we'll blame it on him, right? That's usually a wrong political strategy. He's the prime minister now, and he's going to have every opportunity to fix things, including his political career. Will he actually take advantage of that opportunity? Unlikely, because generally there's nothing wrong with wealthy people at all, right? But unfortunately, in our politics, whether it's US or UK, a lot of wealthy folks have come in and all they've ever done is look out for themselves. And he already has a track record of doing that. So it's unlikely he'll do anything to help the British people.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.